as we go in game to Echo. For game 1 of this best of 3 series. Just having a little bit more water. Building chairs is a dehydrating exercise. I don't know. Alright, let's do this then. Introduce our players. We're going to kick things off to the top left side of the map with our red Terran player coming in from Korea, as most of the players will be today. 3 Koreans and 1 Chinese player in this group. It is going to be aLive. And aLive here, he's going to be going up against the blue Zerg player to the bottom right-hand side of the map, which is Losira. So we're going to set up into this and have a look to see what's going to be happening over the next few minutes of the game. We're going to be seeing a hatchery first coming down from Losira. Interested to see what happens here on Echo, a map where 3 bases are so easily taken by the Terran player. Do we just see... do we just see sort of like mech play because it's so easy to get up to 3 bases and macro up from there? Or do we just see some bio play? We've seen sort of a mixture of the 2 styles in the last day or 2 of the new patch, so intrigued to see what aLive is going to pull out here. It's very player dependent. It's very sort of player and map dependent, I think. A lot of maps do promote mech play, but some players will prefer to play sort of certain builds and certain strats on certain maps, and maybe aLive feels like this is a mech map, maybe feels like it's a bio map. We will find out. I kind of like this map a lot for mech, though. I mean, the 4th base can be a little bit tougher to defend. When you go for mech, you can even take this one to kind of take a forward base. But when it comes down to actually pushing with mech on this map, well, I mean, you can sort of get flanked from either side, but it's always through a fairly narrow pathway, so there's never going to be a major concave coming your way. You can utilize these sort of ups and downs in the middle of the map to your advantage as well, because they're also very choky. And that really helps you out if you want to push aggressively with tanks or something. So that's sort of worth... keeping in mind and looking at, as we're going to be seeing a second Rax coming down, so that answers our question right from the get-go. This is not going to be a mech-based play. It's going to be a 2-1-1 opening. We're just going to be seeing this sort of stimback, medevac drop timing. Nothing too crazy, just nice and simple stuff at the very start of this. So we're going to see this Reaper hopping on up, going to have a little bit of a look in towards the natural expansion now, as we can see our Terran player just going to be looking to see if we can grab some damage. We're going to be seeing a drone getting blasted away, and just become an extractor. 1 Zergling might go down if aLive can target fire it down. However, not going to happen just yet, as these few Zerglings do manage to run away over to the right-hand side. Another grenade doesn't still catch a drone. Unfortunately, aLive not going to get anything there, but still some nice pressure. Forces an extractor, forces a spore crawler. But look at Losira, super fast lair coming in. Now, what's this going to be? Is this going to be a super fast Spire play? Or is he going to go for something even more aggressive than that, like a Nidus all in? I mean, it's a very fast Spire, and if he cancels link speed soon, then we're probably going to be seeing that Rotoron come down and that Nidus network. But without that Nidus and so on, or without the cancel on speed, more likely to be a Spire. That said, whatever happens, aLive has already seen the lair, so he has already a pretty good indicator of what's going on.
Complete.
When you look at this, it's actually a pretty crap map when it comes to sort of playing a fast lair, because it's so easy for the Reaper to jump up here and scout into the main, even jump up here and scout into the natural. Like, there should be no reason for the Reaper not to get the scouting information in the early stages of this map. So this is really kind of a little bit interesting. Sorry guys, I just realized that the tournament link in the bracket is wrong, so I can fix that for you guys quick. No worries, my bad. That's because I was so busy building a chair instead of actually preparing for the stream. I apologize. Now inside my office I've got like a massive box and like a whole bunch of other boxes to go inside the first box. It's a little bit crazy. Anyways, Marines are going to push across the map here, and they're actually going to find an overlord. I mean, this is a cool little timing, because if you're going into a lair like this, aLive knows that there's probably not going to be very many units made super early on, so he's just going to attack a bit earlier than usual. And look how much damage he's going to get done. He's killed an overlord now, 2 queens. Oh my god, that second queen just in aLive for a long time. Doesn't go down. Now a 3rd queen, and now drones being targeted. aLive is going to do so much damage. What a cool response to scouting the lair. I mean, this makes so much sense, right? The lair's a little bit too early for Nidus. He says, cool, I'm going to counterattack when you're not going to have very many units, because you're going for a Spire. You're going to focus very much so on sort of building a few drones and saturating 2 bases, and then saving your gas and minerals to make those Mutalisks. And now he kills 3 queens and 6 drones, and now he counterattacks with this now, next medevac drop. He's going to have stim as well, and without those initial queens, it's going to be a little bit harder for him to defend against this. As we're going to be seeing the Queen. Just going to get in position and try and turn this around, but I mean, to what extent? I mean, you can poke away at this medevac a little bit, sure, but how much damage is it really going to get done? Immediately, drones get pulled into this. The Widowmine will begin to burrow right now as the stim comes down, and the target fire is there on the pack of drones. GG from Losira. aLive will take a 5.5-minute game. Great response, great decision-making based on what he saw here. I mean, winning against Losira would be a really nice way for aLive to start things off today, because it would be just that safety net for when it comes to playing the TvT against Gumiho, who does love his mech play. And now that tanks are a little bit stronger, who knows what we might see out of him, who knows what aLive's answer is going to be. As we do have to the top right-hand side of Whirlwind, our purple Zerg player, it's Losira starting us off in this best of 3 series, in game number 2. And to the bottom right, taking game number 1 in a nice 5.5-minute game. Clean, simple, and tidy. Great execution. I wouldn't even say great execution, just great response to what he scouted. So great scouting and knowledge of what will happen when he scouts that sort of build order. To the bottom right-hand side, let's hear if you're cheering on aLive. Alright then, game 2 of this best of 3. Oh, it's so nice to have like a proper chair. Yesterday I casted in the chair they sort of provide for me in this office-y place, and you know, the chair was okay. The chair wasn't that bad. It was, you know, it was decent. It was comfortable, I'll say. But to be able to sit in a proper chair now, the dream is real. The dream is very real. So, we set on up into this and just wait to see what's going to be happening. Do let me know what's up in the chat, everyone. Do let me know how your day is going, who is ready for the weekend. It's Friday, of course, in case you've been hidden under a rock all week and didn't remember or something, but it is Friday, so let me know if you're doing anything interesting this weekend, if you're doing anything exciting perhaps, or so on. Interested to see what you guys might be up to. I'm not going to be doing anything too exciting apart from casting all the time. Hell yeah. We got IEM qualifiers. Tomorrow we start bright and early from 10 AM CET. That's going to be the IEM qualifiers for IEM Korea. I'm not going to try and say the name of the actual place because I just can't right now. Like, I need it in front of me to say it. I know by tomorrow I'll be able to say it, but right now I can't. So we've got the IEM Korean qualifiers. That starts tomorrow, day 1 of 3. The second qualifier on Sunday and the third qualifier on the Tuesday. So make sure you tune into that. Again, 10 AM CET. It's going to be all of the top Korean players and some of the foreign players who want to try their luck on the Korean server taking part to try and compete to qualify for IEM Korea. So that's going to be happening. Again, live tomorrow. Tomorrow we're also going to have the first of 2 days of the WardiTV Team League qualifiers. So that's going to be live tomorrow from like 6 PM CET, I think it is. So that is Saturday's deal. And then again, Sunday we're going to have IEM qualifiers. We'll probably do some Go for SE2 afterwards. And after Go for SE2 in the evening, we're going to have Top Dogs Season 8? 7? 7 or 8. There's another season of the Top Dogs, though. The top French players go head-to-head. That'll be 4 best-of-5s in the quarterfinals, and then we'll head in towards the playoffs for that on Monday, which will be our only cast on Monday as far as I'm aware. Oh no, Leifang Cup qualifiers. There's so much going on, guys. It never ends. It's just endless. Alright, let's look at this. Hyperflight rotors as an upgrade from aLive. I mean, is that just is that a misclick? Is that a fake? Is that a genuine thing? I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea what this is going to be. Like, Hyperflight rotors. Like, can we just take a moment to appreciate how ridiculous that is? Like, when have you ever seen a Hyperflight rotors upgrade in the early stages of the game? Marine will start up. He will start stim as well. So as this overseer scouts in, he's going to see what he thinks is going to be a cloak upgrade, obviously. I mean, what else do you expect it to be? Off of a starport this early on, you expect cloak. But do you expect the Hyperflight rotors? Do you expect the speed banshees? Well, that is the question. Losira is once again going 2-base Spire, this time a bit more successfully as he has not been scouted out super early on. As aLive will go up to that northeastern side right now to try and figure out if he can get anything done here in the early stages of this game. So moving on up towards the upper right, we're going to be seeing these couple queens already starting to work their way through this Banshee. And Banshee is going to take a little bit of damage. Cancels Hyperflight. I mean, okay, it was just a fake then. I was excited. I thought something was going to happen here, but it didn't. Rip our lives. How sad. I guess I was just checking. My FPS is not as high as it should be. We're on like struggling to stick at 60 FPS, and I don't know why. Come on. We should be above this. Anyways, we're going to be seeing a few Hellions coming back home as well. I mean, we saw the sim, right? So we know it's going to be Bio, and there's the double engineering bay upgrades to confirm this. Out of all the maps, I think Bio is very much so going to be loved on Whirlwind. Yes, it's a large map, but it is also a great map for attacking around the map on and sort of going in different locations. Especially when you've got vertical or horizontal spawns, it just makes it a little bit easier than cross spawns to actually attack into the Zig player throughout the game. Now we do see a bunch of mutilus on the way out / out already for Losira, so he's going to start flying around with these and look to see what damage he can pick up. He's actually looking to intercept these Hellions right away. I mean, there isn't really any drones from this third base just yet to do much anyways, but intercepts, and actually we're going to see 2 Liberators starting to come up here, so 2 Liberators on the way up. But Contaminate comes down from an Overseer early in the game. Well, that's pretty nice. That's actually going to slow those Liberators down. It's actually going to be quite significant. I mean, not having those Liberators up means he's not going to have as much anti-air, and that's always going to be slightly problematic. Good turret placement, though, actually. Covers this mineral line, covers the front, and actually together they completely block off this forward entrance to the base, as we'll see. Sort of over here as well, this turret very well placed to still block entrances to the base, and yeah, there's one in the middle line too. Yeah, very nice turret placement. I like this from aLive. I feel as though it's really sort of well thought out as to how he wants to position his units and how he's going to deflect these moves, and it's worked perfectly, you know. Now a few units here and there. You know, a few units here and there, but that's all he's really picking up, so not too much. You'll see this Banshee coming in. He's very nearly going to pick up that Queen kill. Transfuse comes down to save it as the Banshee gave up on it a little bit earlier. I mean, should have just targeted drones then, but I mean, mistakes were made. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, there's a few extra drones, but it could have been, I mean, it's not like that Banshee had to get damage done. I mean, one Banshee is a bit of a commitment, but it's not like he's made Cloak for it and multiple Banshees. It's just the one Banshee. Again, some value out of it at the very end. Definitely worthwhile. He also forced Spores, right? No, he didn't. Okay, well, I guess he didn't have to force Spores this year because he already had Mutas on the way up, and with Mutas on the way up, he already had the ability to sort of shut down Banshees because he has the Mutas, and he has the lair for the Overseer, so he doesn't need Spore Crawlers as much as you maybe usually would. Muta's going to continue to fly around, going to pop back in towards the main base here, so they're going to fly back over in this direction and find a few more Marines, which are going to stem, and there's going to be seeing those Mutas, one of them going down. Actually, Mutas are not having the best of times so far. 2 Mutas going down, and again, we haven't really seen them do too much damage. About 6 Marines killed off by these Mutas, a Hellion as well. They haven't done a lot. Roach Ravager follow-up, and +1 missile attack is about to kick in, so an aggressive attack coming in right now from Losira. Liberators are going to start sieging up, but man, this first siege tank is way out in the front, really unprotected. Liberators are going to keep on going into siege mode. As actually, first Liberator here is still alive, 3 kills on it as it finally gets Corrosive Bile down, but that took way too long. As we're going to be seeing these SCVs going to just evacuate from the third base. aLive doesn't feel he can hold this just yet. I mean, if time passes by, he'll get into a better position. 2-2 will come up against what is still just +1. Just have to turn it off and on. So, it is 1-1 in this series. Unfortunately, I have no idea how that last game ended. I assume the Roaches just ended up pushing on through, which is strange because honestly, it looked as though aLive had a pretty good position. You know, it looked as though he was defending. His first Liberator didn't go down for ages, and you know, he just seemed to be doing okay, and then apparently he lost, so yeah, I don't know. So let's hope we don't have any more issues. That would be the first thing for us to hope for right now. As we have to the bottom left hand side of the map, our blue Terran player, it is aLive. He's going to be going up against the red Zerg. To the bottom right hand side, it's Losira. So again guys, sorry for bit of a shaky few moments there. We are back. We are alive. We are good to go. As we kick off into the third game of our first best of 3 in today's SGL Cup number 6. It's going to be our only stream of the day. We will tomorrow have the IEM qualifiers I mentioned, as well as WardiTV League qualifiers. So a lot of action for tomorrow, but for today, just the SGL. Just a little bit more of a chill day. We did actually a pretty long stream yesterday, like 8 hours. Not the longest we've done, obviously, but it was still pretty hefty because we didn't stop at one at all for like 8 hours. Like, we had like 10 minutes here and 10 minutes there. like when we swapped events, but that was about it. So, well, fingers crossed as we continue on in this series that nothing else goes wrong. I just have a nice smooth rest of the day. So here's hoping. Second racks once again from aLive, going back to what he was doing back in game number 1, which obviously gave him a pretty quick victory. One Newkirk Precinct. This is the first time I've actually casted this map in the new patch, so pretty cool. This map in general is sort of interesting. It's a map which is very... I don't know how to say it. It's like very... I didn't really ever like this map, you know? I mean, I remember Innovation Tage on this map, MVP Innovation, some great games from some great TV tiers, but past that, this map was just mech, split map, horrible stuff, like games you don't want to remember, you know? So, I don't know, like, it's one of these games, one of these maps which I don't really approve of. It's kind of weird to kind of have this one come back. Like, out of all the maps they could have picked, why this one? It wasn't really a major part of StarCraft 2's past map rules, and I wouldn't say anyone kind of massively liked it or anything. It's an interesting one to bring back in, so... Anyways, fast lair again from Losira. Third time in a row. He really likes this fast middle scope, man. So this is pretty crazy. Like, this lair is about halfway done, and I just can't believe he's doing it for the third time in a row, you know? Like, to really kind of go 2-base meter this many times is very, like, very confident, I guess. I mean, it's just not the sort of usual build you see. 2-base meter always seems to have a place in the matchup. You know, there's always players who will go 2-base meter and they'll make it work. They'll have success with it, but it's not usually something you use 3 times in a row in a series. So, you know, I could understand using it twice, because the first time he sort of just died. So the second time round, perfect. You know, it's the same thing, but he's actually going to get to do it this time. So it's not exactly like just, you know, straight up copying. Whereas the third time is like, well, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I guess it did work once for him now. So I guess he just says, let's do the same again. Let's see what I can make happen. I think he's going to continue to chase this Reaper down, and Reaper's not quite going to be able to get away. And as we're going to see, the Ling is now going to back over to the left-hand side. So I'm going to run back over to the left and see what they can get up to. I'm just going to pause a couple of things, guys. Like, I really feel as though I should have more FPS than 60 as well. Like really. I should have way more FPS than 60 FPS, I feel. Maybe I shouldn't, but I sort of feel like I should. Anyways, Ling's going to come over to the right-hand side here, come back home. I mean, a few more Lings on the way, just getting ready to defend that kind of 2 medevac timing, which is exactly what we're seeing out of aLive. Going to drop an engineering bay down too. Just 1 engineering bay for now. We'll see if he wants to commit into kind of 2-base pressure. We saw that a lot out of some Terran players yesterday. There's always a possibility that 2-base pressure really kind of piling on the damage in towards the Zerg players, so it's definitely something we could see here in the very near future as we see this double medevac play. Moving over to the right-hand side, going to be dropping off just on the edge of this creep spread very, very shortly. It's going to start dropping on the edge of this creep, and again, plenty of Lings out, and if these Lings are out, then all should be fine. It's going to see actually a couple of them going to spot this army, so he sees this coming in again at the big point, at this point right now, just aiming to kind of clean up some of the creep spread. Actually misses one of the active teams to the south side here. It's a little bit frustrating because it means the creep will actually stay further out on the map than you would have liked. As now we're going to see those minions just loading up into the medevacs and coming away up towards the top side. So, aLive coming up towards the northern side here. We're going to see the third hatchery coming down from Losira, and now the first meters are coming out onto the map. What is there for aLive back at home to defend this? Well, a few Marines, a Riddermine. I mean, there's actually quite a lot of Marines. A Riddermine doesn't have any turrets just yet, so I don't think he's identified yet what's going on. Now he sees the Middleists, and he'll try to come in. It's actually a pretty nice sniper out of aLive. He is able to step backwards, cleans up all of the Zerglings, bar 4. I mean, it's a nice trade for him, cleaning up so many Zerglings. And as we will now just try and back away. The problem is his medevacs are going to get caught out by the Middleists as well, so medevacs will go down. And these Middleists from aLive, just from the series, just going to come down to the south side, look to see what else they can do. 3rd, 4th, and 5th racks is going to come up in towards the main base as well. And a few more Marines just continuing to come on out. Some more Marines coming out here. A couple of Widow Mines on the way up. Combat Shield's about to finish, plus 1 attack. Is going to be finishing very soon as well, as these Marines will try and get some damage done aLive. Not going to pre-stim. Not going to stim too early. That's the last thing you want to do. Like, stim too early and waste your health and end up with a bunch of low health Marines because they can't do much at all. And you do just see those Marines still flying around 3rd base on the movement position. So aLive did start a 3rd Didn't actually... I wonder why he went for the +1 then, so... instead of +1/+1 while going for this 3 bases. A little bit of an interesting decision there, as we see these Marines still moving around. We're going to be seeing Meters taking a little bit more damage. One of them goes down as this reactor gets picked off. Meters again trying to see what else they can do. Turret again built in this position. That gets shut down immediately. This reactor once more. Very narrowly going down. Doesn't quite, and we'll stay alive for now, but it's super vulnerable. Meters going to come back in as soon as they get a chance. They will take it down once again. So aLive really has to keep units in position here if he wants to keep it, if he wants to kind of make sure that it doesn't become an issue. A few more Marines moving forward. As we see this time it's going to be a different follow-up from Losira. Going into the 1/1 melee upgrade, his Bane and Speed is starting up as well. Losira is preparing to go in towards this sort of later stage of the game, really, as the Marines going to stim once more. A few Mutalisks going to get turned away, going to get pushed back. And Muters again going to be trying to come forward here. And these Marines turning forwards actually picks off one Mutalisk. The Marines are going to commit in towards this. They're going to stimming it, and I mean, a few more Marines stimming in is just not going to be enough. He needs way more Marines than this, and actually, Losira is just continuing to pick off Marines. So, Losira's having a pretty good time right now. Turns back in towards the main base again. This is the problem, like, he just doesn't have the stability of enough units in the right place to shut down these Mutalisks. And now aLive has lost like 20 Marines and hasn't killed anything at all for them, and it's just getting worse and worse. And a couple of meters now starting to go down as Losira messes up his micro a little bit towards the end here. Comes back in, re-engages, 2 medevacs go down, and another Marine going to get shot down as well. He's going to turn and fight. I mean, a few more Marines will go down towards the very end of this now. And just a few more Marines getting picked off. Another few Marines stimming in towards the main base, a few Marines just on the third base too. And those Mutalisks from Losira will once again just back away, fly off towards the center. Ling Bane coming into play. Let's see if a whole bunch of Banes, 19 to 20 or so. Getting ready to go. I mean, he might just attack these 1/1 upgrades. He's traded so well against so many Marines that you can't really blame him for trying to kind of attack in at this point. I mean, he's done so much damage with these Mutalisks. He's traded against so many Marines. There just isn't that much there from aLive to realistically defend against this. So, let's see what's going to happen. These Banes gathering together, starting to roll on forwards. I mean, they're just going to go for the mineral line, they're going to go for the CC, and he's just going to go for the army. He's just going to go for the army straight forwards. Here's his direction. Oh no, aLive does not hit his splits at all. He gets crushed in this game. And that's going to be GG straight up. Losira takes game number 3, and he will win the first series.